about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. And actually, the reason why I'm going live over a visit is because of the craziness. So shout out to the homie EM Dolphin fan. Me, him, and Neil Driscoll were actually on the phone as news broke about this potential visit. And there were some interesting things that, were exchanged in the phone call. And just from what to our understanding, basically, and we are going to talk further in depth on it when we because we pushed back recording Fin Too Deep. We're gonna actually do that tonight now, so it'll be out tomorrow morning. Right before news broke, Neil was talking about something he was hearing, and it was very curious to me because literally news broke minutes later. And one of the things he was hearing is that the Miami Dolphins have the most guaranteed money currently out of any team in free agency on the table for Terron Armstead. And literally 2 or 3 minutes later, it broke that he was flying out to Miami. So it's been kind of a crazy afternoon in terms of, after my show ended earlier, I had a feeling something was going to happen too. And after my show ended, we got some bad news with Lael Collins, and then it was followed up with obviously some good news with Terron Armstead. So let's get into this because there are some things I want to talk about in regards to Terron Armstead. So let's pull it up just so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, smash that like button. Help me with my friend algorithm because it's the second time I've gone live today. So the notifications aren't going to be getting hit as well. Had I gone live, this has been the first time I gone live. So Saints free agent offensive tackle is flying tonight to South Florida and is set to visit with the Dolphins tomorrow per me and Tom Pelissero. One of the top players available in free agency. Armstead will fill a huge need in Miami. Now, the reason why this is important, and I can't stress enough, is this. This is why. I'm telling you right now, because of how long he's been on the market, him and his agent, we've already discussed the parameters of a deal. He knows how much money guaranteed and overall through the duration of the contract has already been discussed. So to me, this looks like he's coming in. He wants to meet people inside the building. He wants to take a look at the facilities. That's what this looks like. And if he leaves Miami without a deal, we blew it somewhere. And at this point, you know what's going to happen. They're going to throw the bag at him. Be prepared for them to throw the bag. I ain't saying that in a nasty way. I'm just saying he's going to get the bag. And that's just coming from where we're at right now. Because let me tell you this. If this guy can stay healthy for a season, he's a top 3 offensive lineman in the NFL. He's an absolute stud. As an elite pass blocker, he is an elite run blocker. And, he's going to get paid. And, I ain't even hating. Shout out to the homie Pyro because he's who I saw post it. Because you know what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? It is time. You need to get the yacht out. Get the yacht out. Shout out to Pyro. He's the one I saw post this. I don't know where it originally came from. But it's time, Stephen Ross. Let's get that yacht rolling. Let's get this man. Do not let this man leave the building. There is no way Terron Armstead should be leaving Miami. And if this guy, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I'm on the phone. I'm getting told basically, and I know I'm not going to tell y'all who told Neil, but who the person who told Neil is very, very reputable. And and as soon as he tells us, from what I'm hearing, the Miami Dolphins have the most guaranteed money on the table for Terron Armstead right now. And not even 5 minutes later, notifications come through that he's visiting. So, and for as nonchalant and unaggressive as they've been for La'el Collins, apparently the Dolphins just would not take a no. It's not going to be cheap, but the Dolphins just will not take a no for an answer. And you see what McDaniel did with Trent Williams. All he's going to do to say is Terron Armstead. He's going to say, you know what? The only reason people have you in the top 3 and not number 1 is because I coach Trent Williams. If you stay healthy and I coach you, you will be the best tackle in this league, hands down. Get this man. Get this man. Greer, you want to change the narrative? Because here's the reality. When La'el Collins signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, who kept him in Cincinnati for like 3 days, as much as we like the Cedric Wilson move, as much as a lot of us like the Connor Williams move, as much as it's like the Raheem Mostert, the Alec Ingold, and the Chase Edmonds moves, you were going to be remembered by your effort to fix this offensive line in this offseason. Because again, it's not about Tua. It's about the run game. And let's be frank, if Tua doesn't work out this year and they decide they're going to move off Tua, at least we know the next guy, whomever that is, isn't set up the way Tannehill was, the way Tua was early on in both of their careers. At least there's some stability they're walking into, whomever it is. I think Tua's going to take the reins and run with it, and we're going to be just fine. But if he doesn't, then the next guy's set up, whether you draft him or you trade for him. This is long-term investment. Make it. That's why La'el Collins was a great move to pair with him. Long-term investment. Only 28, La'el. See, people think I'm sitting here thinking about just Tua. He's a factor. But it's the whole context of the situation. The run game needs it. Our receivers need it for whoever's back there throwing the football. If Tua gets hurt, Teddy's going to need it. If Teddy and Tua aren't in Miami after 2022, the guys here in 2023 are going to need it. It's much deeper than one position. Of course, it helps one position vastly, but it's much better. And you know what the end is, bro? Here's the thing. We're not going to have, we are going to get an evaluation where we don't have to say, oh, what could have been at the offensive line, at least on the left side. And here's the thing, on the left side, run the goddamn ball. Just send it to the left side. Just go, 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 go. As long as Armstead's healthy, feed that left side with him and Williams. Bodies are going to be moving on the left side. I really think this is going to be the best left tackle we've had since Richmond Webb. Terron Armstead's better than Jake Long. He's better than Brandon Albert. I really think get this done. And all of you that live in Miami, the Finalizing fam, you better be scoping the airport. I need y'all to be out there waiting. Make this, if you see Terron Armstead, make him feel loved. Make him want to stay in Miami, people. I wish I was out there. I'd be driving to the airport right now. I'd be putting my kid to the bed early, and I'd be driving there. And this allows us now flexibility at right tackle, in-house at least. I think you should keep Hunt at right guard, but he's an option at right tackle if Jackson or Eichenberg. I think they're going to try Jackson at right tackle. I really do. I really honestly do. And this deads the notion that of Connor Williams playing left tackle, which I told all y'all they're going to keep my left guard. I think they're going to keep Hunt at right guard. I don't think they're going to kick him back out. I think Austin Jackson might get the look, or they might draft a guy. Shout out to Florida born, Kentucky grown. I've heard privately they really like Bernard Raymond. I've heard that actually from 2 people now. No, 3 people now. I think he's raw and he needs a lot of work, but I heard it from the 3rd person today. So personally, I'd be drafting like a guy like Abe Lucas. I'd be down with Daniel Falele. He needs some work. He needs some development, but damn, if you get Daniel Falele, if you get his technique, if you get his footwork cleaned up, you get him technically sound, that man could be a freaking beast in the NFL. I would be 110% down for that. There's a lot. The tackle class is really good. Let's let the market play out, because it looks like I might need a tackle. Looks like I might need specifically a right tackle big board. We'll see. It looks like I might need a right tackle. I think they're going to try Jackson. I'm telling y'all, since the moment we hired McDaniel, if you've been listening to me, I have said Jackson makes sense because of his athletic profile in the scheme. He makes sense. Roy, I do not allow Dolphins Twitter to welcome Armstead. Only allow some people of Dolphins Twitter to welcome Armstead. If I could hand select them, I would. If I could hand select who's greeting them, okay, cool. The Humble Giant, that was a troll by King of Finland. The Jesse Davis was not. That was a video from a couple years ago. Smash that like button, already 350 of you guys in the room. Appreciate you for coming out. So, go get it done. Go get this done. Bring Armstead to Miami, please. And I know this is going to cost around $25 million. I know this is going to cost serious money. Wow, Griffin Gaming with the $50 bomb says someone made an article yesterday playing devil's advocate for why Miami should keep Jesse Davis. Basically, his argument was that Davis has played every O-line position except center. Our offensive coaches have been trash. Griffin, the way some people lie to themselves to make them feel better about things is ridiculous. And I can tell by your LOL in your comment, you didn't believe that guy's article one bit either. People forget Jesse Davis, I believe, was a converted end, or he was either defensive end or defensive tackle that converted to offensive tackle. He was like the white version of that NATO kid, that the Brazilian they've been trying to make somewhere fit. Jesse Davis isn't that very good. At best, he's a swing tackle. You know what I mean? Like, we talking about having this conversation today with someone, and with actually Neil and EM too. And I said, he was okay at left tackle in 2020 for a couple of games, but that's all you ever want to see. Like, you want to see maybe a half a game or have to lean on him for one game. You're not like, if you knew you had to lean on Jesse Davis for an extended period of time, the smart money, just go get someone off the waiver wire. Cut this man. There's no man that should be on my team. It is absolutely disgusting that he's on my. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they sign Terron Armstead, we're going to really see what their plans are, because cuts are going to have to come if they sign Terron Armstead. Exactly, Regil. Like literally 4 different pictures of him standing over his QB's corpse this past season. He almost got people forget he almost got Jacoby killed. I'm not just worried for Tua. I'm worried for Teddy Two Gloves. If people know me, they know I loved Teddy back when he was with Minnesota. I still love Teddy. So this guy Samuel. Now we're gonna fully guarantee his money for him to be Will Fuller 2.0. Have faith, Samuel. Have faith. Okay? Do your best George Michael impression. Have some faith. Justin Moss, do you think Josh Boyer wants to keep Eric Rowe? You know, we're talking about this too. We're fine if you want to keep Butler and Rowe and eat that $8.5 million-ish. Okay, cool. But why is Clean Fedulum on the team? Why is Jesse Davis on the team? Why is Alan Hearns' contract still against us? Get these jabronis out of here. First time here. Keep up the good work, Reason. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Enjoy your time. Welcome to the Finalizing fam. So, you know, just get this done. Don't let him leave Miami. He's a perfect scheme fit. I mean, you're not going to – this is a top 3. And the only reason he's not the best is because Trent Williams was arguably the best player in football last year. And second of all, the only reason people don't want to call him the best too is because you can't depend on him for a full 16 games. But, hey, you never know. I'm going to try being the optimist on this. Yes, I've lived through the Parker. It's got to change sometime. It's got to change. And I lived through the Wolf. It's got to change. Our fortune has got to change sometime. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Under Mike McDaniel, Terron Armstead is going to push Trent Williams for the best player in football as long as he's healthy. I'm just telling you right now. The things they're going to want to do with the guy. People don't remember he's an athletic freak. He is an athletic freak. Do we not remember the things that they did with Trent Williams because he's a beast athletically? I'm just saying. So imagine what they're going to do with this man. They motioned Trent Williams last year. Terron Armstead is an athletic freak himself. Are we going to see Trent Williams motioning? What is a defense going to do? What are you going to do when you see that happening? So they're not going to move him to right tackle, Samuel. Oh, you want to move? No. Hunt's going to stay at right guard. So, I mean, I like it. Indeed, I don't think it's as big of a press. It's not as big of a pressing need to get a pass rusher in the first. I think you're going to see linebacker, receivers going to get targeted. Remember, the word coming out of the combine was they thought the wide receiver room was in worse shape than our line. That says something, and that tells you Cedric ain't going to be the only one. You watch out. They're going to add another wide receiver. Checking out. Yeah, 4.7140. Bro, I'm telling you. Terron Armstead's an athletic freak, bro. I'm not lying to you. I'm going to do if we sign this man, I'm going to do a Terron Armstead film study for you guys. It's going to come. Don't you worry. I'm going to do a Terron Armstead film study for y'all. Someone asked a good question. Where did it go? Let's see this. Eric asks, would you like better Fisher at tackle or Treader at center? Give me Treader. Fisher's the left tackle. I don't need him. If you give me, why are you mad, Pyro? Tell me why you're mad. They're gonna draft a receiver somewhere. I'm telling you, and they're gonna add a running back on day 2 or day 3. That running back room is not done. And then obviously the other not so great news for us Dolphin fans. Bengals. I think Devin Lloyd's going to be gone by 29, Tyler. I think you have a better chance at maybe Nakobe Dean there. The Bengals are finalizing an agreement with Lyle Collins. Sources tell me in Rap Sheet he was supposed to leave town today for another visit, but Cincy didn't let him go. You know, last week you could have. I want you to. We could have traded for this guy for a day 2 pick. Then you could have turned around and just thrown the bag at Terron Armstead, and you would have already had Collins 3 years on a deal. And you would have drastically changed. This offense, because I want people to realize this. And Greer's done it to himself. Guys, we like the Cedric Wilson move. We really like the Connor Williams move. We like the Moser. We like the Edmonds. We love the Alec Ingold moves. Okay? We love the fact you kept our defense together. But Greer is going to come down to how you reshaped and reformed our offensive line in this offseason. And Connor Williams wasn't enough. Now, you go and add the biggest fish in the pond. Love it. But I still think you got more work to do. Is Dieter really the long-term answer at center? I would probably argue no. Do we have the long-term right tackle answer on our roster right now? I want Hunt staying at right guard. When I did my scouting report on him, when I talked about him after we drafted him a couple years ago, I had him pegged as one of the best guards in that draft. And I think what we saw the last half of last season was all pro guard level. I want to keep him there. I'm tired of moving these people around. I keep saying, I don't think all of you guys who think you can go into Madden and edit a player's position from left tackle to right tackle and bam, it works. It's not like that in the real life. I don't think Eichenberg is a long-term. I think if you're going to go to anyone, your best shot at the long-term solution on the roster as of today is Austin Jackson. And that's because of his athletic profile. He still needs an anchor. He still needs to be fundamentally and technically cleaned up on his footwork, his hand placement. Okay, so he's still got a lot of work to go. Right? And he needs to find a little bit of a motor. He gives up a little too easy. So those are 4 main things he needs to fix real fast. Now, again, there's guys, I think they're going to target Alec Lidstrom, out of Boston College, potentially as center. The interesting thing would be, the real interesting play would be, guys, I want you to think about this for a second. Think about this for a minute. Put this in your mind. What if, hear me out, and I feel like Hunt should stay. I think Hunt should stay at right guard. What if, and I'm just spitballing here. What if they shift Zion Johnson, who Applebaum had at Boston College, from left guard to right guard, and they kick Hunt back out to right tackle, and that's who they draft at 29? What if that's the play? What if Zion Johnson's the play, but just instead of left guard, you shift him to right guard, you kick Hunt back out to right tackle? Now, I think Hunt needs to stay at right guard. I'd personally go after Abraham Lucas on day 2. But what if that's the play they have in their mind? And then you add Alec Lidstrom down on day 2 or day 3 as well to compete with Dieter for center. Kills, I think Penning's going to be gone, bro. I think Penning's going to be gone. I would love Penning. See, EM Baller, the people are forgetting about Zion Johnson. Is Zion Johnson, he played center at the Senior Bowl. He didn't play center. He was not the starting center at Boston College. That was Alec Lindstrom. People forget that. Alec Lindstrom, he was the starting center. He's in this draft. So think about that for a sec. That could be where this is all at. That could be a play. No, there's no news on Treader right now. There's no news on Treader right now at all. Yeah, that's personally I'd be I'm shocked. Maybe they pivot to JC Treader. Maybe they're waiting to see how much money they have. My daughter, man, I swear on my life. I swear. This girl killing me right now. Freaking kids and their iPads. I swear on my life. Yeah, maybe they could pivot to Treader right now. It could have been down. They would needed to see how much money they were going to be putting towards Armstead, because I'm telling you right now, shout out to Mud Miller for the $5 super sticker. I want to make this very clear. He's been on the market long enough where his agent has discussed with the Miami Dolphins the parameters of a deal. Show I will never bring. Sorry, I don't bring family on screen, brother. Don't. That's a big no for me, my guy. So yeah, that could be a play. Treader can always be a play. But I mean, you talk about what Jeremiah Kelly is, look at what Joe Burrow did when Lyle Collins got into town. He brought him out to dinner. He brought him over to dinner to his house. And they invited, Alex Kappa came over, Ted Karras came over, Hayden Hurst came over, a bunch of the offensive line came over with their wives and girlfriends, and Lyle was there. So everyone was just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, he put in the work. That's why I'm saying, like, oh yeah, Joe, don't worry about it. I was just saying that in general, man. I will never bring my wife or my kids on the screen. That's not my style. Tua's got to step it up, man. A reason why I would have got Lyle Collins in here too is because you could have used Connor Williams. Like, so when Armstead lands, you got to go full court press. I want to see. That's what I was saying, basically, Miami RW. That's an idea. If you want to get creative, that's an idea, right? Like, if you really want to get creative, that's an idea. At 29, I would take Zion Johnson over, Florida born. I would take Zion Johnson all day over Bernard Raymond. I would take him over Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. Like, I forget who asked earlier, but it would need to be like a Trevor Penning for me to roll. And that's still a left tackle I would have to move to right. So, it's going to be huge. If Armstead's coming in tonight, we could have a deal tonight, or we could have a deal tomorrow. I might be going live later tonight. Be out on the lookout for that. As soon as they sign Terron Armstead, I'm going to be all over that, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. So he's coming in tonight. He's supposed to meet up with them tomorrow. Thank you, MG Taxman. He's flying in tonight, and then he's supposed to meet with them tomorrow. And that's what's going down. Here, I'll show you guys one more time, because I see there's more of you here than that was here earlier. So here's the deal, in case you are just joining. Terron Armstead is flying tonight to South Florida and is set to visit the Dolphins tomorrow. So, the players can still go out and do their thing, right? Phil, there's some decent, talent out there at right tackle you can fit in. Daryl Williams, Cornelius Lucas, Trent Brown. Second tier guys. You're on to the second tier guys right now. Because Trent Brown works more in a gap scheme. I'm sure he'd be fine in zone. But, I mean, then again, you remember Trent Brown was moved from San Francisco when they kind of shifted to the zone scheme after a year, right? So it'd be interesting to see if they even are interested in Trent Brown. Sauce Man, I'm on the best players at every position train. That's what I'm on. I liked what I saw from Robert Jones last year, but are we gonna? We want to make a playoff run. Are we really gonna rely on Robert Jones taking the next step to make a playoff run? I don't know if I'm there yet. See, Kills, I would be right there with you. I'd be happy. I'm cool. Your boy Mike's gonna ask a real tough question. If Jameson Williams, Zion Johnson, then Penning available at 29, who you drafting? Jeez. It's gonna come down to Penning or Williams for me. If I believe in my staff that Penning, we can make Penning a right tackle, then Penning. If I don't, Jameson. If Jameson was healthy, I'd probably be saying Jameson too. Jameson's hard to pass up on, bro. Him and Waddle would be crazy dynamic in this offense. Shit. Yeah, I'd probably go Jameson at Jameson 29, Abe at 50, and at 102, if I have to, I'll move up. But at that 102 pick, Matt Ariza. Then with one of my 4th round picks, go get an inside linebacker, and my other 4th round pick, get a running back. Zolan asked, rather sign Treader or Trent Brown? Treader. I actually think Abe Lucas would be a better fit in this offense than Trent Brown. I really actually do. I think Abe Lucas is like perfect profile. So, shout out to the Watch Mister for the $4.99 donation. He says, reason, if you think injuries have cost Saquon a step, what if Jameson isn't the same after the ACL? That's what I'm worried about. That's the one thing I am worried about. Reason I see all the new signings we made seem like high character guys. Is it possible that this is the reason, no pun intended, that we didn't go after Collins? Well, they were interested. They just slowed down their pursuit because they wanted Terron Armstead. They must have been super confident. Let's put it this way. The money they must have on the table must have them super confident they're going to land this guy, obviously, if he's coming out to meet them. The money they must have on the table must be stupid. You know what I mean? So that's what's kind of crazy. Like, you actually think about it and you're like, okay, the money, it must be real. And I think it is. So, like I said, while I was actually going to put it on. I actually had a few notes from the conversation. Most guaranteed money of any team on the table to Armstead is apparently the Miami Dolphins, from what I'm told. I was told the Colts are also quietly sniffing around Terron Armstead right now. I actually heard that Miami tried to sign Clowney again, but he wasn't interested. So, yeah, Terron Armstead. I honestly think, ladies and gentlemen, what about Kenyon Green at 29? I love him at left guard. I do love him as a guard. He's athletic enough. You could try him at right guard. You could slide him to right guard too. I think Kenyon Green's going to be a beast at the next level. Reason Treylon Burke and Nakobe Dean fall to 29, and who you taking and why is that the best for the team? Don't have to be the better player. I think Treylon Burke. Is probably going to take. Our defense doesn't need as high of an investment as our offense does right now. And you look at Treylon Burke, and I know everyone wants to find their Debo, which I don't think there is another Debo. And you look at Treylon Burke and the things that Mike McDaniel could do in this offense with Treylon Burke could be super special. And our defense needs some dynamic players added to it. Sorry, our offense needs dynamic players added to it because their defense already has some dynamic players added to it. Should the Dolphins go after a big body or speed receiver? Both work. I keep saying number 9 on my big board, who makes a lot of sense for this offense when you actually sit back and think about it, is George Pickens. Now, he has red flags, obviously, not only with the injury, but he still blew up at the combine, even with that coming back from the injury. But you look at George Pickens with his athleticism, you look at his size, you look at it, he just seems like the ideal X type of prototype they'd be looking for in this offense. You know what I mean? When I think about what they would want to use at that position, he makes a lot of sense. George Pickens does. So I think so too. I do think we will see a trade. Let's trade for Debo. I wouldn't laugh, bro. Do you think Pickens will be there at 50? There's a good chance he might be. But yeah, I wouldn't laugh, bro. I don't think this is that as far fetched as people think. Remember, Debo's coming into he's coming into his contract year. And the other thing too about Debo is, I mean, there is word in San Francisco. Like there's rumors in San Francisco, not even on the Miami side, that he wants to come here. Like I think they're going to franchise tag him, but I think Debo wants to come here. I've heard this from like people connected to the 49ers. I haven't even heard this from like Dolphins people, that they've heard rumors that Debo wants to come here because this is his contract year he's entering. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it's his contract year, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, this is his contract year, right? So, because remember, he was a second round pick in 2019. 2019, 2020, 2021. So 4 years. Then they'd have to franchise tag him. Yep. I've heard that. See, I told you guys. I explained the whole story that I got sent a DM from a subscriber, and it was in regards to a DM conversation. It was a screenshot of a DM conversation between a subscriber and Ari Miroff, My Sports Update, and basically the word was we're looking for, and again said to take it for a grain of salt, so I'll say that again, take it for a grain of salt, but the whole premise was we were apparently looking into the AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Debo Samuel markets because they want to trade for someone to push the money down the line. So what I mean by that is like they want to find someone with a year or two left on their contract, their rookie contract, so they can turn around and they can pay them in a year or two, but they can get high production for that year or two at a cheap cost. That's the idea. But I think it's going to cost too much for all those guys. So, I personally think there's reason hypothetically we draft James Williams at 29 and at 50. Christian Watson's there. What are you doing? Pass on him. They're not going to go back to back wide receiver. So, you know, I do think there is actually legitimacy to Debo potentially being a Dolphin one day. Now, if you traded him for right now, it's going to cost. It's going to cost at least a first and a third. At least a first and a third. So, I think it would cost at least a first and a third for Debo Samuel. And that's going to, you know, that's pretty hefty. So, you know, I know there's, dude, I've even heard, check this out. I've even heard this. EM. People forget EM's got brothers. EM's brothers are actually huge Niner fans. And even they're hearing Debo Samuel and Miami rumblings. Even fans of the 49ers are hearing it out there. Yeah, so that's why they're not going to give up 2 firsts, because you're going to have to pay him, right? You're going to have to pay him. That's why they're not going to give up a bunch of first round picks. I would give them the 29th pick for this year, though. Like, are you going to find a better player at 29 than him? No. I don't think you're going to find a better player than him. And plus, the good thing is the money you would sign a guy like Debo to is that money doesn't hit till next year, right? I don't think they're going to trade DK. I've heard Tyler Lockett is the receiver that's available. You know, I've heard they'll listen on DK, but you're going to have to like blow them away and pay crazy. So, you know, if I could get Debo for like the 29th this year and like a third next year, and I can even push the third to next year, I'm all in, baby. But I'm not trying to give up like 2 firsts and another pick if I can get this guy, you know, either next offseason or 1 year after franchise. Because what's going to be really interesting is how his usage this year, and if he's as effective without Mike McDaniel in the building. Because if he's not as effective with Mike McDaniel in the building, there's no way they're going to franchise tag him. There's just no way they're going to franchise tag him. And then you know where he's going to come. Thoughts about trading for Laviska Shenault? Asked Barry, sorry. I actually don't mind that. You can get him for the cheap, probably. I ain't giving like a first or second or third for Laviska. And I think Mike McDaniel would know how to use him. I just think they don't know how to use him in Jacksonville. Last year, they tried to use him, like strictly turn him into like, you know, he's not developed enough in the route running area to be the type of receiver dependent. Like they just tried to strictly use him, you know, as a go-to receiver. They didn't gadget him. They didn't try to get him, you know, the ball in gimmicky ways or get him in open space. It was just like, okay, go out there, run your route and beat the coverage. And he's not developed enough yet, Laviska Shenault. He needed work coming out. So, I see people just arriving and hearing me talk about Debo. Basically, what I'm telling everyone is the Debo stuff isn't really that far-fetched. That, you know, he's going into his contract year, and I've heard from people connected to the Niners, obviously, as well as fans that, you know, because EM's brothers are Niners fans, so they always stay in. From fans down to people I know who like covered the 49ers, I've heard the Miami Debo smoke is real. And I just got a text. I'm here, and basically it said this regarding Armstead. I'm hearing it's done, barring a shocking setback. I literally just got a text. And I quote, I'm hearing it's done, barring a shocking setback. So that's what I'm like I said. I heard before 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 the news broke that he had scheduled a visit, I got word in speaking with Neil that, from someone who's very, 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 very plugged, that we had the most guaranteed money on the table out of every team that had talked to Terron Armstead. And, pretty much the belief, is that he's coming in to meet people inside the building, check out the facilities and such, but it looks like it's going to be done. Um, so yeah, it is. Ro makes a good point too. I didn't even make that point. I absolutely think they knew. It's weird as fuck that this visit was announced right after Collins signing, but hey, I agree. Pyro, relax. He said it's done. I'm hearing it's done, barring a shocking setback. That's what I said. So, hey, it looks like the Miami Dolphins are going to get a franchise left tackle, man. That's what it looks like. And yes, we will get another receiver, at least in the draft. Jamie says, do you think Ajabo drops us at 29? Yeah, I do think he does. If he does, do you think he's in play? I don't think they are that in on pass rushing. Is that that much of a necessity, considering the money they just gave up? So I wouldn't I wouldn't put a lot of stock into them maybe going after a David Ajabo. Guys, I just told you what I heard, but either way, if this gets announced or when this gets announced, I will be live again, so don't worry about that. And when I am live with that, I will open it up to you guys, and I want to get all your guys' thoughts and stuff like that. Let's see here. I'll take a couple questions, then I got to get out of here, put my kid to bed. Are we going to keep Devontae Parker on the roster? Yes, I believe so because of the cost. He's a cheap cost right now. If a Jobo is at 50, you have to consider. I agree with that 110%. First round talent. Pyro, I want Lucas. I want Abraham Lucas too, bro. I'd be fine with Abraham Lucas or Daniel Falele. I believe in our coaching staff enough that those could be the answer at right tackle. Falele at right tackle. Imagine if you clean that guy up and you put him him and Hun next to each other and you get him. Oh my God, dude. I want, and I mean, pause here. The amount of meat you would have, a big pause, by the way. The amount of meat you would have on the right side. Like, we're talking about bringing a kid, 22 years old, 6'8", 384 pounds. Any concerns on no upgrades on the defensive side? No, because I know what their mind frame is, and it's all about they believe they can get that defense who was instrumental in us winning 8 of our last 9 games. Although they had to play smash mouth football. We know how that went. I still think they're going to get a linebacker. I think they're going to get a linebacker. So it's going to happen inside. They're going to get a linebacker either in the draft or maybe they throw us another curveball. Yeah, see, that's the problem, right? Is he's raw enough where you could say he's not ready to start, and you would have invested that pick. So what, we're going to roll with Jackson, and you know what I mean? That's the issue. I agree, bro. Abe Lucas. Abe Lucas is more pro ready than Daniel Falele. I think Abe Lucas could be day one starter in this offense. And you look at his profile, I think he'd be perfect for this offense. How would you be opposed to bringing Cole Beasley? Hell no. Now, we all might not agree with his vaccination stance, or some of us may agree with his vaccination stance. But the fact of the matter is, you're talking about one of the best slot options in the NFL. But you've already added Cedric Wilson, who's a slot, and I think Bowden's going to be a beast this year. I think Lynn Bowden is going to be a monster this year. And I don't want to push him further down for another slot guy. That's where I'm at. I would rather go chase JC Treader. Like, imagine if they could sign JC Treader and Terron Armstead this week. Could you imagine that? Let's set our run game and our quarterback up to be successful. I mean, currently on the roster, he fits the profile the best. Bowden is going to ball this year with the work he's been putting in with Tua. People ain't ready for what they're about to put on the field, man. Van Jefferson, if they put him on the market. Hey, put on the tape of what he did to Noah Benogany. I want to see that matchup in practice, Rome. Bro, everyone want to talk about Noah Benogany against Bama and LSU, but no one wants to talk about Noah Benogany against the Gators and Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson put on a goddamn clinic that game, bro. He made him look absolutely silly. But no one wants to talk about it, dude. I don't know why. Someone tell me why they don't want to talk about it, bro. I can make the argument JC Treader is more important because Armstead's not the blind side. So, yeah, Rome. Go put out Noah Benogany. Have a seizure if that guy walks through the doors, bro. Noah Benogany not going to want to go on the field for training camp. You can say, "Nah, I'm good. Let me fill the water bottles up." That's what that guy's going to say. Yo, Noah, why's your hand shaking? Why can't you tie your cleats? Yeah. Van walked on the field. Oh my God, people don't want to talk about that film, but it's hilarious. Dude, the amount of holding in that game from Noah Benogany, the amount of jersey he clutched because he couldn't keep up with Van Jefferson was disgusting. You see, yo, Justin knows what's good as a Gator fan. That's exactly what I saw. I was like, who is this corner we are beating? Bro, beating? I'm surprised Noah Benogany didn't retire after that game, bro. I would have hung up the jersey and said, oh, man, there's no way I'm going to this show, let alone be a first-round pick. God damn, what a reach. Only us. Only us. Vlad, no to the first part. Second part, that video going around about Davis resigning is it's a troll, bro. It's not real. That video is a couple years old. Pyro, go Gator. Damn right. Damn right. Let's go, baby. But I remember when I was not young, but I remember a kid that I really wanted to be good at the NFL level was Chris Leak. I really liked Chris Leak's game. He just didn't have the size at the next level. And I remember the Bears drafted him, and he just didn't go anywhere. So it's all about the U. Yeah, back in the day. Back in the day, bro. That's the thing. They're never gonna get to the heights they were at ever again. Where like 30, like, bro, that program was so good in the early 2000s that they had to make multiple 30 for 30s about it. Okay, they will never get back to that. Those teams were stupid talented, bro. Stupid talented. Stupid. One of my favorite players ever played for that team, Sean Taylor, man, RIP. But like that team was just stupid talented. Just dumb. What do I think about the narrative that Trent Brown doesn't fit the scheme? I mean, there might be some validity to it in the sense of he played in it, right? If you go back his first, Kyle Shanahan's first year, he was there. And they moved him, right? They moved off him. They traded him after 1 year. So he's played in it. Yeah, man, that was the best part about you guys. You guys just didn't give a F, man. Exactly, Barry. They had Pro Bowlers on the. It was disgusting. And the worst part is, y'all had stars at every position except quarterback, bro. That was the worst part. You'd think like some star quarterbacks out there running this, and like, man, y'all were stacked at everywhere but. Everything but. Yeah, I do know the coaching staff, Jason Taylor, Crystal Ball. I know your staff right now. I like Van Dyke. I like Van Dyke. He's got his size is pause. His size is ideal. I like Van Dyke a lot, actually. I think you guys got a good quarterback. I truly believe that. So I'm a fan. I ain't disrespecting. Don't disrespect Ken Dorsey. Oh my god. Come on, you know what I'm saying though, bro. Y'all know what I'm saying. I ain't talking about just a college quarterback. That team was stacked, man. That team was stupid. Like, see, I agree with that, Rome. That's where I'm at. No squad will ever be what was back then. No talent is even close. Even now, I agree. I don't even think these stacked Bama and UGA teams are as talented as those Canes teams, bro. Those are like ridiculous. I don't even think the LSU team's kind of close, but y'all had way more stars on defense. Like even that LSU team, not, you know. Hey, Reason, full disclosure, doubted you a while back. Not too proud to admit it. I was wrong. Hey, at least you admitted it, bro. Respect. Yeah, I saw you. I'm pretty sure if I remember you correctly, you posted some of my Patreon info, like a screenshot on Twitter. So I actually removed you from the Patreon for that, if I remember correctly. But hey, man, no problem. All water under the bridge. We're all good, bro. I don't hold grudges like that, dude. Life's too short, my guy. You're welcome here, bro. All right. We're all getting into heat. I think I'm going to be back either tonight or tomorrow early for you guys. I really do. And when I do, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Hey, man, it's all good, bro. We're clear, bro. It's all good, man. No hard feelings whatsoever on my side, at least. So, you know, I'm going to be back. I really think very soon. I gotta actually supposed to start a recording 1 minute ago with Neil, so I'm gonna go record Fin Too Deep. That episode will be out tomorrow morning if you don't hear from me tonight. The link to Fin Too Deep is down in the description below. So guys, man, I went second. I know the notification didn't come out. We still got over 600 people at one point here. No, Brett, I am not. So basically, guys, I'm gonna see what do you want for Austin Jackson. I don't know, man. I want to keep Austin Jackson. I want to keep him developing in this scheme. I don't want to move Austin Jackson. I think his profile is perfectly suited for this scheme. He just got to gain that anchor and he's got to be coached up fundamentally, technique wise. And I think Austin Jackson is very much salvageable under this coaching staff. So I'm not ready to give up on Austin Jackson. Now, Eichenberg is a different conversation for a different day. So I'm not there with Eichenberg like I am with Austin Jackson. But guys, we're going to talk about it sooner or later. Terron Armstead, baby, let's go. Potentially the best left tackle. I've been told, I'm hearing, unless some shocking setback, this is done. All right. I've also heard we had the most guaranteed money on the table out of anyone he's talked to in free agency. So that's what led me to believe this meeting is just about meeting people inside the building and touring the facility. Let's get it done. Let's bring in the best left tackle this franchise has seen since Richmond Webb. He's better than Jake Long. He's better than Brandon Albert. He's better than Laramie Tunsil. Let's go. Let's run the football. Let's give Tua time. And let's score some points and let's get better on offense because everyone else is getting better in the AFC. And Terron Armstead just better be the start because we got a lot of work to do here right now. Guys, I will see y'all either tonight or tomorrow. As soon as that information comes through, be prepared to see me. All right, guys? You already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day. Let's go. Let's get it done, Greer. Don't let him leave Miami. If you see Terron Armstead in Miami, make him feel loved. Make him want to stay. Make him feel like one of us. Let's go get this, baby. Fins up all day, every day.